My God, guys, like, what a season finale to Better Call Saul. Spoiler review of Klick. I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty, okay? At the end of this episode, I was like, no, Jimmy, no, don't do it. Don't do it, Jimmy. Don't do it, damn it. He's recording you. I mean, right when he was sitting down, right when Chuck was like putting his little sob story together and, having Howard believe that he was retiring. I was like, Jimmy, all this stuff is, just like, get you thinking one way, but he is recording you. He wants this confession. Chuck wants to bring you down. That's exactly what's going to happen probably next season. I mean, he even asked Jimmy, like, are you admitting to a felony? Jimmy's like, yeah, Chuck. Yeah, like, oh my God, such a fantastic way to end season 2 of Better Call Saul. This is by far one of the best TV shows out there. So if you haven't been watching it, you need to watch the show. It is the spinoff of Breaking Bad. And what a spinoff it is. It's a different tone, different feeling towards it, but it's still very good. You got to put your hats off to Vince Gilligan. So we saw in this episode, we have Mike. We'll get to Mike in a moment, but we did see Chuck. And I thought Chuck was at least going to be in a coma, which I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad they didn't go a coma route. I'm glad they didn't go cancer, because at one point I thought he had cancer, that route. And you got to really, really appreciate the writing, because they have his condition, with electricity, currents and stuff, how he gets weakened. And it's an odd condition, but it fits the show. It fits a lot of conflict. It sets up a lot of conflict, and it really brings it all together. So them writing the aspect to Chuck's character, like, it's really awesome. It's really cool with them to play with it. It's something you've never seen before. That's why this show is very fresh and new and better, and just has a different tone to Breaking Bad. What we saw though was Chuck. He's okay. He's fine. He needs to get an operation, but of course, they have to deal with. They have to give him a CAT scan, this and that. He doesn't want it, of course. Jimmy's saying, "Well, I'm temporary guardian, so you're gonna do it." He doesn't want to send Chuck to a home to be committed, and you gotta, Jimmy, the way he's slipping Jimmy. He's slipping Jimmy, but he has a good heart. I mean, he loves his brother. He loves his brother to death. And emotion, man. Emotion. Touching moment when Ernie backed up Jimmy and said, I called Jimmy. That's why he was there. Because Chuck was still flipping out. He's like, why were you there? So how long was I out? You were there very awfully fast, Jimmy. You paid the guy off. Then Ernie's like, nah, Chuck, I called him. And then that scene where he tells Jimmy, or Jimmy asks him, why did you do that, Ernie? Why did you tell him that you called me? And then Ernie goes, because we're friends, man. And Chuck he's gunning for you, but we're friends. I mean, Ernie, you're a good guy, man. What a good guy. He deserves a beer. So we had Chuck go through that process. He gets the operation. He's in like this state where, for a little bit, where he's just like he looks like he just doesn't know where he's at. Of course, he regains himself. He tells Howard he's gonna quit and all that stuff. Of course, he has a master plan just to still get Jimmy. He's hell bent on getting Jimmy, and Jimmy fell for it. Jimmy fell for it at the end of this episode, and it's going to be so good when we get back to the next season, because there's a lot of things that could happen. That's what I love about Better Call Saul. Just because you think there's some things that might happen, it does a little bit, but then there's another turn where you're like, damn, I did not expect that. Going back to Mike. Now, Mike, he was going to take out Hector Salamanca, but Nacho was in the way. They're taking out the Salamancas are taking out. I believe that was the truck driver where Mike, kidnapped and stuff. And Mike's about to sniper Hector, but Nacho was in the way. So of course he doesn't want to hurt Nacho. And then that whole scene was very, very intense. I'll get to the whole my breakdown of this overall the review, but just a little recap. He's tried to snipe him, but he has to wait. They go back in the house. They're about to come out. He has to wait for a while, but he hears a car alarm. He's like, what the fuck? That's not their car. It's my car. He goes to investigate his car, and there's a little note that says, don't. I mean, somebody obviously set the alarm off because they had to stick on the alarm, or beep. But somebody said, put a little note don't. So that's interesting. Like, who put that there? Because we don't find out at the end of this episode. There's a little. I know. Walking Dead Mike, my buddy, he has a theory going on that I'm assuming that it might be something to do with that moment. I mean, I always thought been always waiting like for Gustavo to appear. I'm waiting for Gustavo to appear because we know Mike and Gustavo they meet. They work with each other, but. Was that really Gustavo? Was that really Gustavo's man? Was Gustavo watching Mike? Because we know Gustavo and Hector Salamanca, they got beef, and we know Hector Salamanca, he ends up in a wheelchair if you watch Breaking Bad. So, is there a connection there? Is that what the note came from? Not Hector or Gustavo himself, but maybe Hector's man. So, or Gustavo's men. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Overall, this episode was really nicely done, nice shots. I really did like the cinematography, especially with Chuck and Jimmy when he was like building his little fortress and stuff at the end. I really liked that cinematography there. It seemed like natural lighting was coming in. The shots I said were great. The characters themselves, the tone, the flow was just perfect. It was on point. It would never get bored. You never got bored. You were always interested in a lot of the conversations. The dialogue was very interesting as well, especially when Chuck's performance in this, the actor who plays Chuck, his performance in this episode was really fantastic. I loved the opening with the mother and just the fact that she was she was calling Jimmy's name when he wasn't there. He went to go get sandwiches for him and Chuck would say, "No, Ma, this is Chuck." She didn't even say Chuck's name once. It's a very emotional episode. Great writing for this episode. Fantastic setup for things to come for the next season, but still a self-contained episode. So fantastic there. Overall, Better Call Saul, the season 2 finale was amazing. It was awesome. It was everything you were hoping for. It leads up to a lot more questions, but a lot more things that are going to be answered in season 3, but still felt like a self-contained episode. So Better Call Saul, if you haven't seen it, or come on, you guys are watching it if you guys are watching my review, but it by far is one of the best television on TV, shows on TV. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Just all you have to do is hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like it, and comment below. Cannot wait for the season 3 of Better Call Saul, and it has been picked up for season 3. So AMC doing work, everybody, the whole cast is doing work, Vince Gilligan's doing work. Awesome stuff. I'm Dan, make it dance, son. I'll see you guys later.